Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are finishing up watching the Purge series. I just finished with watching the Forever Purge. So if you don't know, this one takes place basically after the events of election year, and this is where I had a little bit of a problem, was a little bit annoyed because we don't really find out exactly what happened after election year. We kind of, through the sounds of like the news or like a radio station, we basically hear that she was elected, and that the Purge was gone. Shit was still shit, and so the new founding fathers got re-elected and have now brought back the Purge, and this is going to be the first Purge since then. So this one takes place in Texas, and it deals greatly with immigration, and we are faced with this couple who has crossed the border from Mexico into America and are working for this wealthy family on a ranch in Texas, and we just get a peek into kind of their lives and their interactions together, the tension between the white ranch owners and the Mexican immigrants that work for them, and all of this obviously leads up to Purge night, which happens, but then after Purge night is supposed to be over, people are still killing, and that is where we get the Forever Purge, where we now have these groups of white supremacists, who have decided that the one night of the Purge is not enough, and they are now going to purge the entire country of everyone who is not like them. It's very interesting. These films, I swear, I've said this in all of them, as we got further into this series and this franchise, they just got seemingly more topical, and if you did not watch my review for the first Purge, highly suggest checking that out. But in that review, I did talk about the fact that that film and this one are the only ones in the franchise that are directed by people of color. This one is directed, and I'll put his name here, but he is a Mexican-American director, which, if you want to get my full feelings on that whole topic, check out the review. I'm not going to dive too much into it in this review, just because I did talk about it quite a bit in that one. But basically, the gist of my feelings are, not sure if that was done in an attempt to be respectful in telling these stories, or if it was just an ass covering on the behalf of the writers and producers and whatever of this film. So that's kind of my gist of the feelings. But all in all, I did enjoy this film. I thought it was a really good sequel. Something I like about these, and I think I mentioned it in my last review as well, these films do a pretty good job of, they could really be standalone films. If you have a gist of the idea of the Purge going into any of these, you can kind of watch and enjoy them, which I think is a good thing. Obviously, it helps having seen the previous ones before going into any of them, but I just think that it is great that you can kind of go into really any of them as a first time watch, because they do still give you kind of enough information going into each film. Now, I'm not going to shy away from getting political when it comes to this review and talking about this film. I don't really feel like I tend to shy away from that anyway on my channel. I don't usually get too much into it, because we're here to talk about horror, but it's hard not to, especially with this film, because it is very specific, and very purposefully done so to be topical, and the thing is that people say, oh, like, they're just films, but with the state we're in, with the state we've been in as a country for a very long time, the likelihood of something like this happen, to me, doesn't feel so far-fetched. Like, maybe the idea of our government coming up with a purge, maybe. a little far-fetched. But the idea of these types of groups of people coming together to purge our country is a terrifying thought that could be very much realistic. I mean, we've seen these groups of people come together, storm the Capitol, things like that. So it's not far-fetched. And the thing is, I've seen on like TikTok, I saw someone make a video basically stating that they live in a blue state, in a very liberal state, very liberal area, and there was a group of supremacists marching through their city. And so it's like, it can happen, and their point of the video is it can happen anywhere. And for people who are in liberal states, like I live in Nevada, and this is a state that is still allowing abortion rights, at least currently, which is great, but, you know, we can't just sit here and feel like we're perfectly safe because of where we're at. And I think this film kind of shows that too. So yeah, it was definitely very intense film, kind of hard to watch at points, just because of how I feel like topical the film is. One thing that I definitely kind of enjoyed is they take a lot of stabs at the former president throughout here, like the fact that when we first kind of see the trucks of the Forever Purgers on the Purge night, and they're, you know, making announcements or whatever, and they say that they are, and this is in the film, getting rid of immigrants for raping and, not purging, but, which the irony of that man referring to other people as racist is not lost on me, but apparently was on him. And the fact that when the Kirk character and his group of people first attack the Tucker household, they, and he's going on with his speech, and the father speaks up and calls him a hypocrite, saying, you know, you're saying you are poor and you've been misplaced by the system that we're in, but who do you think put you there? And that by participating in the Purge, you're doing exactly like what they want you to do, and you're following in line with these people that put you there in the first place. And in that speech, he's talking about, you know, the rich are getting richer. Slides in a little comment about just going off and playing golf, which I also really thought was great. So I kind of loved all those little, like, not even really snuck in, like right in your face little stabs were pretty great. But yeah, this was a really good sequel. I honestly really enjoyed this one. I don't know if it is I can't decide if it's my favorite or not. That's how much I really actually liked the sequel. I thought it was done really well. It did start to kind of drag on a little bit towards the end, which is kind of how I felt about the previous one. These films start to kind of feel like they all drag on. These films do kind of tend to do that a little bit. They start to drag on a little bit, and you're just kind of like, okay, when's it gonna end? So, but either way, I still enjoyed this, and I still really much enjoyed this series. It was fun. It was fun, but scary, and quite topical to kind of go through. So let me know what your thoughts are on this Purge sequel. Let me know what your thoughts are on this franchise as a whole. I will be doing a ranking video as well. That'll probably be up next week. I'll kind of get to give you guys my thoughts on everything all together and where each film stands for me. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. Again, if you didn't see my reviews for the previous films, make sure that you check those out. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big old thumbs up and make sure that you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. And I will see you all again later with another video. Bye!